Welcome to today's training session where I'm excited to share the art of creating compelling content. 5 types of content that helps to sell high-ticket coaching offers. If you are free to join me, hop on, say hello, #replay if you are catching the replay. Let me know where in the world you are joining me from. I love to know where everyone is located, because I know I have people watching me from all over the world. And also drop the letter N if you are new to my world, or the letter F if you've been following me for a little while. I love to ask you to do a few things because, this is the time when people are still kind of getting notified and all the things. Hello, Jacelyn. Thank you for being here. So regardless of what type of coach or consultant or service-based provider you are, the 5 types of content that I'm going to be talking about today are designed to help you to essentially accelerate your authority and attract clients who are ready to invest in your high-ticket services. Hello, you're watching from the UK. I don't see your name. Can you please share your name with either with StreamYard or just, put your name in the comments so I see who it is. But I will come back and read all the comments, and I'll see your name at that point. So before I get into this training and get into the 5 types of content, let me just super quickly introduce myself to those of you who may be new to my world. My name is Anne Ryan. I'm a business mentor and a money mindset coach, and I help my clients who are coaches, consultants, and course creators to package and position their value into a high-ticket offer. And the noise that you can hear, or you may be able to hear in the background, is my dog. He's just running around like a crazy thing at the moment, so I apologize. I help my clients to package and position their value into a high-ticket offer so they can earn more and work less while still having a lot of impact. Wilson, stop. While still having a lot of impact, right? And how we do this is by putting systems in place that allow us to earn multiple 6 figures working less than 4 hours a day. And obviously high ticket, right? High ticket is the key. That's how we don't need too many clients, and we don't need to hustle in order to achieve the results. Hello, Hannah. Good to see you. It has been a while. I hope you're well. So if you'd like to explore what working with me looks like, comment #support or send me a DM, and I will get into this training. All right, now, 5 types of content that will seriously transform your coaching business, right? And the first type that I want to talk about is creating content that shifts your audience's beliefs, right? This is the number 1 most important type of content. And the biggest mistake that I see coaches make is they start their sales process focusing on things like features and benefits of their services, which are all great, but they don't really help to sell, and they will likely fall on deaf ears because you haven't shown your potential clients why staying in their current situation is not going to help them to achieve their goals. You haven't helped them to shift their current way of thinking, right? And their beliefs. So all content that's created to convert clients must start by addressing this, right? Because this is a big deal. This is the thing that ultimately helps people to see that our solution is exactly what it is that they need. Because they need to sort of shift. We need to help them to shift beliefs, right, about themselves, about their ability to change their situation, to transform their lives, right? So before any investment can be made, our prospects need to understand why a shift in their thinking is needed, right? Now, with that being said, this is sort of really only possible if you understand your audience's current beliefs. Yeah. And this is like super important. And you actually understand what is stopping them. So tell me in the comments, do you know what your current clients' beliefs are? Do you know that? Are you sharing that in your content to shift the way they think? Let me know, right? Because you cannot convert prospects into clients without addressing this issue. Yeah, this is seriously one of the most important things. This is exactly what I talk to my clients about as well, right? Because we need to challenge them on the way they think. We need to challenge our prospects on the way they think and inspire them, right, to adopt a new way of doing things, a new way of thinking and behaving and all the things. So I'm going to share an example, right? Imagine you're a health coach and your potential clients are struggling with their energy. Yeah. Now, you can create content that addresses their current beliefs about their energy, which might be that they need to rest more. Yeah. Because let's face it, if you say to someone that you're tired, they often say, oh, you're overdoing it. You probably need to just rest. Yeah. Or, maybe go and see your GP and see if there's, any medication that you can take to sort of boost your energy. Yeah. Now, if your modality, if what you teach is something different, your content has to call out these beliefs that people have, that they need to rest more in order to have more energy, and tell them that this is actually wrong. Yeah. And inspire them to think differently. And maybe, your solution involves, I don't know, getting some blood tests and then maybe providing a customized diet plan. I am totally making this up, right? And maybe your solution involves more exercise, because more exercise is what's going to help them with their energy levels, right? So as you can tell, I'm not a health and wellness coach here, but I'm just using that as an example because the whole point of it is to shift beliefs, right? You can share stories of clients who've transformed their lives through the work that you do, yeah, and show how changing their beliefs is what led to this kind of significant improvement in their health and in their well-being, right? So this now is your number one most important type of content that needs to be created, right? Belief shifting content. And as I'm talking about sharing stories, it leads me into the second type of content, and that is to create content that tells stories. Let me know. I am whizzing through this because I want to keep it to 30 minutes, but let me know if you have any questions, and I am more than happy to answer them. So the second type of content is to create content that tells a story. You need our content has to be more than, just facts and data. And I say that's important too. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. It's good to have the facts and the data as well. But to move prospects from just being curious to signing up to becoming clients, you need to also share relevant stories, right? Stories that show that you understand their passion, their goals, their challenges, their frustrations. Yeah. And your brand needs to kind of engage these potential clients in a way that really humanizes you, the coach, right? So they resonate with you as well. Because if we're too perfect, if they feel like oh, it's easy for Anne. She can do it because blah, 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 but it's not easy for me, then they're never going to become a client, right? So we need to share stories to help them to see, well, this is not where we've always been. Yeah, it isn't enough to just tell stories about your product, right? How great your product is. You need to also share stories about that your audience will really feel connected to you, because I've shared this before, as coaches, as service providers, they are choosing us. Yeah, so it's not just about the coaching, but it's about us, the human, the person. So you can tell stories about how you've evolved as a person, as an entrepreneur. Yeah. This type of content not only kind of lets your prospects see, who you are sort of behind your brand, the human, but it gives them a sense of relatability. Yeah, because you show them that you understand their current reality because you've been there. Yeah, that's the benefit of sharing stories have. Your content can help you build know, like, and trust, when you share these types of stories, because like I said, it's you that, they're buying you as much as they're buying the service that you're offering, the solution that you're going to get them, right? Now, you don't need to share things that are super private either. So I'm not for a moment suggesting that you need to do that. But the more transparent you can be about your beliefs, about your values, about where you've been, about the journey you've experienced to get to where you are today, and give them this kind of insight to behind the scenes as well, that can be hugely, hugely effective for selling high ticket offers, right? So, for example, as a business coach, we've got to think about our coaching brand as a story in itself, as a success story in the making. Yeah. So, I have by no means achieved everything that I plan to achieve in my business. So my journey is the story, is part of the story, and I often talk about my challenges as well as, my successes. Yeah. So are you doing this? Do you share enough about your journey, about your story, about achieving what it took you to achieve what it is that they desire? Or are you just selling your product? Are you just selling your service? Are you just selling the end result that they're going to get? Something to think about, right? Do you portray an image of someone who's perfect or of someone who's actually relatable? Yeah. It's important to make some of these stories relevant to your audience's situation, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah. And your audience should not only see the face behind the brand, but also feel this sense of connection with you. And by sharing your personal and professional growth, you really get to connect with them at a much, much deeper level. I don't share my story enough. I need to. Yeah, perfect. Right. So I'm glad, so that's a takeaway for you. Yeah. And stories can really help to also inspire prospects and to expand their thinking of what's possible too. Yeah. So it's the balance of aspirational and relatable content that sells. Yeah. So we don't always want to be talking about Struggle Street either, which might have been the early stages of our journey. We also want to talk about, the now and the future and, things that our prospects aspire to. Yeah. So that's number 2, storytelling through your content. Moving on, I am going to whiz through this, and I am going to do this in 30 minutes. Content type number 3 is to create content that celebrates your clients' successes. Yeah, huge. Now, most of us have successfully helped clients to get results, yeah, through our process, through our methodology, and that is what we need to also really highlight in our content. We've got to brag about it. Yeah, this is not bragging. This is actually essential, because otherwise we will be the best kept secret. We have to be willing to shout it from the rooftops. It is acknowledging the fact that what we do works. Yeah, our clients getting results is demonstrating that what we do works, and celebrating our clients is huge, right? Research has shown, there's so much research that has shown that, reviews and reviews, etc., absolutely influence purchase decisions, especially when the product or service is, a higher investment, because people want to know, well, why is it a higher investment? Yeah. And when we can back it up with social proof, with client testimonials, with case studies, with just us writing content to celebrate our clients, that's the evidence. Yeah. It really addresses any hesitations that our prospects may have when it comes to investing, because, it's scary. It's a big decision, right? They're taking a huge leap of faith otherwise, if they've got nothing to prove. Yeah. So amazing case studies of people who've experienced the transformation that your clients want is absolutely priceless. So tell me, are you doing this? Hashtag struggle street. Yeah, I know that but you know what I'm saying, right? Because otherwise, when you talk about the struggle too much, then you're only going to attract the people who are in the struggle as well, right? And that's okay in some niches. That might make sense, but in some niches, you also want the next level client, the client who's really more focused on the aspiration, about the goal, about their desire. And so, especially when it comes to high ticket, because they're the ones who can who are often willing to invest as well. So are you celebrating your clients' wins? Do you display them prominently, like I do? The first thing that people see when they come into my Facebook group is my client wins. Same in the highlights on my Instagram, same on my YouTube, same on my website. It is everywhere, right? And I am celebrating my clients, and equally, I am demonstrating that I have a lot of great results. You can't depend on how good you are or how unique your service is alone. Yeah. You want this as well. Your potential clients are often considering several options. Yeah. Because, let's face it, in this industry, there are quite a few of us doing the same thing. Yeah. We're not it's very rare that we are so unique, but still, even if we are super, super unique and different, we still need to demonstrate that our unique and different offer and coaching is actually getting clients results in order for us to make those sales. Yeah. Yeah. So, even documenting, the process that you went through to solve your clients' problems, all of that can be really, really helpful, yeah, in your content. So, for example, as, let's say, a relationship coach, I'm going to try and use different options. If you've been able to save marriages, or if you've been able to help your clients to find the love of their life, and they've gone on to get married and have kids, These are all incredibly inspirational stories that, content that you can share as well. Yeah. And this is what will really help your prospects to not only, get to know you and like you, but this is that trust piece. This is that extra trust piece that is required in order for them to also invest in you. Yeah. So there's the reason, ladies, that I very often share, things like and celebrate, my client Sarah, who made $100,000 in her very first month of working with me, or my client Tamika, who's made, who's had her first $75,000 month, or Leticia, who's had her first $50,000 month, or Shannon, who made $22,000 in just 4 days, right? There's a reason. I am celebrating these incredible women for achieving phenomenal results. And I'm also demonstrating and sharing that what I do kind of works, right? It proves that I have a method that works. Yeah. All right. Moving on. What is a good story formula? Great question. A good story formula can be, first of all, the hook is the most important thing, right? The hook, the first line is what will stop the scrolling. Then it's, you want to sort of take people on a journey. Yeah. So you might talk about 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 6 months ago, this is where I was, this is what was going on. And today, this is where I am, and this is what I've been able to achieve. And so it's kind of a before and after, and then finally, this is what I did, and you might sort of give 3 bullet points of this is what I did to take me from where I was to where I am today. And, with some sort of a call to action, if you'd like to achieve this kind of result, then comment this word below or send me a DM, right? Now that's a super, simple structure. Yeah. Stories can be, it can, you can, like when you do a training like this, it's kind of like a story too. Yeah. Except this training is more like my 4th piece of content that I'm going to talk about now, which is creating content that documents a process. Yeah. That documents the work that you do. Because again, it's not enough to display your certifications. Nobody cares. Or proof that your clients have got results, which is awesome. It's good, but now you also want people to sort of know, well, what is your process? Yeah. These 5 types of content that I'm talking about today are all important, right? They kind of stack on each other. So, so the next piece is this piece, right, where you talk about your process or your method. And what you need to do is to show that you actually know what you're talking about. Yeah. And create content that walks prospects through your methodology or your transformation process. Yeah. I personally say don't hold back. Don't hold back on this. All right. I lead with generosity. I swear by it. And I teach like you've paid. Yeah. So, ask me questions. I will answer them. Yeah. Because that is the difference. The idea here is to plant the seed that you have the keys, you have the answers, you know how to help your prospects to get their desired solution faster than anyone else. Or, whatever the case might be. It might be a time-related thing. It might be a result, a bigger results-related thing, right? Now, you may be hesitant about teaching your process. Many of my clients up when they first start working with me, right? Because they sort of think, oh, what if people copy me? What if they don't need me? What if I give too much away? They just go off and they do it themselves. They won't invest. I have, sure, that happens. But those people who don't invest were never going to invest anyway. Yeah. Those who want the support to implement, who want the feedback, who want the hands-on guidance, they're the ones who are going to invest anyway. And you are giving them enough information for them to now make a buying decision. Yeah. Because not only do clients want proof of your expertise, yeah, they don't want to spend their entire lives figuring it out for themselves. They want someone to help them to collapse time. Yeah. Because that's the difference, right? When you're working with a client, that's when the transformation, this is all fantastic, really valuable information that I give. But the transformations happen in the deeper conversations that I have with my clients, where we look specifically at their situation. Yeah. And I create content like this training, that walks prospects through my methodology and what it is that I do. And this is one aspect of my methodology, that building that know, like, and trust factor. I talk about accelerating your authority to take prospects from cold to sold fast, right? This is part of it. It's the content that we create. Yeah. It's the value that we provide. And I don't hold back. Yeah. But because I know that my paying clients, I'm helping them with the implementation. I'm providing the feedback. I'm providing the support. I'm providing the accountability, which unfortunately is not available for free, right? That can't be given through a training like this. But by sharing my method, I demonstrate my expertise and prove that I have the key. Yeah, the key to help my prospects to actually achieve the result that they want. Yeah. Does that make sense? Are you guys doing this? Are you sharing your methodology in your content? Are you teaching people? Are you giving people the confidence that you actually know what it is that you do? The client is ready for the transformation. Yeah. Yeah. I think I know what you're asking me there, but yeah. So, because it was in relation to the Struggle Street comment, I think, as well. Yeah, absolutely. The people who are ready, right? They're ready, because not everyone is ready at the same time, right? Some people need that wake up call. Some people just love being in Struggle Street, and some people are they have their eye on the prize and they want it, and they're the people who invest. Yeah. They're willing to do whatever it takes. And they're the people, all the people are good, right? They're all part of our audience, but we need to share these different types of content in order to, get them more and more ready to buy. Which leads me to oh my gosh, I've done 30 minutes. I wanted to be finished by now, but that's okay. I'm close. I'm not going too much over time. Which leads me to my final type of training, which is to create content that directly asks for the sale. Oh my gosh, this is also important. They're all important, right? But this is, again, often missed. Or this is done way too much. I see the two extremes, right? I see some people who are just selling all the time and they're not doing any of the other things. They're not sharing stories. They're not sharing, celebrating clients. They're not, demonstrating their value by teaching and giving, things for free. They're not doing any of those things, but they're selling all the time. Yeah. and then that doesn't work either, right? So it's a mix, it's a blend of all of it. Yeah. We have to very directly ask our future clients to invest in our services, right? And while you may have worked extremely hard to position yourself as the expert, converting prospects into paying clients won't happen if you don't actually ask them to work with you. Yeah. So selling should feel really natural, and it should not be seen as this kind of, we shouldn't be tricking people. We shouldn't be tricking prospects. Yeah. But really getting them to make a decision. Yeah. Now, you've already provided value by creating content that displays your relatability and your expertise. You've bridged the gap between, them being kind of a complete stranger to them now having trust in you. Stories of your clients' successes has really increased their confidence in you as well. Yeah. In their ability to actually experience a transformation through working with you. So now it's time to actually ask for the sale, and your content can do most of the selling for you. And if you have the right combination of messages and, all of these 5 types of content that I shared about, you can create this pipeline of prospects who are willing to invest, in your high ticket offers, and they'll come through at different times. Yeah. And if you do this well, you likely won't even need to get on a sales call. Yeah. Which is kind of where I've got my business to as well. So how often do you create content where you are directly selling, where you're asking prospects to become clients? Are you doing that? Yeah. So I recommend, now you've got this kind of guideline, I recommend do a review of your own content. Scroll back to the last 10 or maybe 20 pieces of content and assess them. Put them under one of these 5 categories. Where do they fall? And you will soon see where the gaps are. What's missing? What are you sharing too much of and not enough of the other, right? You kind of almost need to look at this as a one in, each, you need all 5. Yeah. You need all 5. And so see where you might be kind of, where the opportunities lie, essentially. So to summarize, the 5 content types that will really, really help to sell high ticket offers. This is exactly what I do myself. Is they have to be belief shifting content, captivating stories, right? It's really important that you write in a way that it's really interesting, right? With a really good hook and so on. Celebrating client successes, documenting your processes, and finally, actually asking for the sale. These strategies are adaptable to any business, whether you're coaching, whether you're consulting, whether you're a service-based business, yeah, and they will absolutely help you to sell high-ticket offers, and in many cases, depending on where you are on your business journey, without even needing to get on a sales call. Yeah. So I am going to leave it at that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. #support in the comments if you would like my support or if you'd like to really explore working with me, right? And if you'd like my support to create high ticket offers, to accelerate your authority, to implement a predictable sort of organic system to bring in prospects and turn them into clients, #support or send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. And I am going to leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hello, Elaine. Yeah, catch the replay. Absolutely. And then we can talk deeper about it. Thanks so much for being here. All right. Bye.